We're not live yet, are we? Are we live?
No, we're not yet.
We can collab. Check it out. Hello. Hello. I was literally just spamming people on Facebook. Are we live?
Excellent. Now? Excellent. We are indeed. We are live. It's 11 a.m. and welcome everybody. And hi, Graham. How you doing, bud?
Very well. It's a very last minute because how do I make this big anyway? Can I make this the whole screen?
Ooh.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. But yeah, very last minute because I thought, obviously, like as we were chatting just earlier, I thought it was at 7 p.m. So luckily we teed up, and I actually went mental and just made loads of little videos and told everyone about it. So hopefully people were here. Are we on Facebook and YouTube as well now?
Yeah, we are indeed. Yeah, we're on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, that's it. The live stream. If you wanted to share out the live stream to your personal, wherever you want on Facebook, it's currently
done it already.
Yeah, you got it. Sweet. Epic. Right, cool. Well, I've already shared this out to a load of groups across Facebook as well. So yeah, that's all good. So yeah, so today, hello everyone across the world, and
hello everyone.
Yep, I'd like to introduce you all to, of course, my name is Zach Hater, and today I will be interviewing Graham Cullis. So yeah, welcome, Graham. Pleasure to have you on. And yeah, so we're going to be going through a few questions today, because Graham has, for the past year, found this new kind of revelation within himself in regards to working with art, and in particular art therapy when it comes to mental health, because Graham went through a very interesting experience in lockdown, and that's what we're going to get into today. So Graham, how are you doing today?
I am very well, thank you. I got up and it was snowing, and I was hoping there would be some laying on the ground so I could get some good content for my vlog. But instead, it wasn't settling, so I just stood outside and let the snowflakes hit my beard, and it looked very nice. Well, I was hoping to do a sea dip with snow all over the beach, but
oh wow, yeah, that'd be amazing. Where are you at again at the moment?
So I'm in Pevensey Bay at the grand old age of 39, living back with the parents. And I've been loving every minute of it. It's been a crazy, crazy time. I've really enjoyed the experience of going back home. I'm loving it. But yeah, Pevensey Bay.
Beautiful, wonderful stuff. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, same as me. I'm back currently with the family at the moment, and until the next thing comes up, who knows, maybe Indonesia. But yeah, we can talk about that in a bit. So yeah, so beginning off, first question, if I may. So
I looked at these questions briefly you sent to me last night, and then I've just been sorry. I've not prepared because I thought it was at 7 o'clock, but it's all good.
Of course, yeah, sure, yeah.
Go for it. But I'm sure I've got the answers. Don't worry.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll start off with like an open question, and then it's kind of like each question question gets like gradually more specific in a way. So it's like kind of, yeah, but it's cool. It's open.
Shoot.
So if you could tell me about, because obviously, oh yeah, just I'll say this now. So Graham, you and I first met on the Be the Change Collective's third event of this season, which was about motivation. And you came on and you said about and you gave your talk about what you've been through in regards to where you were in Indonesia last year during lockdown. And yeah, I felt your story was incredibly inspiring. So I'd just like to ask you really, so what, before that time that you said about where the time you went through in the time before lockdown, like, so what happened before, like the lead up, the build up to that moment?
Okay, so obviously before lockdown, obviously COVID hit in Bali. Well, the lead up was, just a quickly little like backstory, is the last few years I've been trying to make myself remote. Like I think everyone wants to do that, and now it's kind of been forced upon us, which people are a bit confused about. But I wanted to be remote so I could move to Bali. So I got a sales job, which meant I could then move to Bali and do my job from there, because I love it there. I love surfing and just the dream life. And then obviously the sales job was a UK job, so I was working UK times, which meant I'm going to be working at night the whole time, till like sometimes 1 or 2 in the morning, which isn't ideal, but you know, on paper it sounds amazing. Get up at 6, go for a surf, have a coconut, have a coffee, and then go for a siesta just after lunch, and then wake up at 4, start working till midnight, which was perfect. You know, I loved it. And then weekends off in Bali. I mean, that can't get any better. You know, it's amazing. But obviously then COVID happened. It was quite a stretch because obviously there's not much autonomy there. Or the autonomy doesn't align with everyone else's. So I was missing out. I felt a little bit isolated, to be honest, through the whole time, because all of my friends that I have in Bali were, you know, having normal lives and able to hang out in the evening and have sunsets and just socialize. So when I was literally surfing, going to bed, working, and then don't see anyone until the weekend, really. So that was one little thing that was tough, but you know, I knew what I signed up for. But then COVID hit, and obviously around the world, businesses got very hit very hard, and ours was, especially because it's a sales job and no one wants to buy when you've got something happening like this. Yeah. So we were losing clients left, right, and center. So that sort of didn't help. It was very high pressure. Communication with my work back home was lacking as well, and that's something. I'm very communicative, as you probably know, and I like that sort of human touch as well. But that was lacking as well. So I felt very alone, and obviously the high pressure of the sales job was just really beating down on me. But I was getting through it, you know. And then shortly after that, I found art. So I went for a lesson with this lovely girl called Tatiana, who I was introduced to go on a date with, actually. And she told me to come to our art class. So I thought, I've got to, you know, impress her and just, you know, you've got to do this. And then I ended up friend zoning myself because I was actually pretty good, and I just became her student after lesson 2. But yeah, it was like incredible. I couldn't believe I had this in me. And actually, this was my second ever painting. The art, beautiful. Maybe I've got one of my cards, which we can talk about later. I can show you a bit closer. But yeah, I mean, for a second go at oil painting, I was pretty impressed with myself, and everyone else around me was as well. So that's where I first discovered art. But yeah, so that was the lead up to lockdown. What was? Do you want me to carry on with the rest of the story, or is it?
Yeah, sure. I suppose really the progression then goes into like during lockdown, and I just want to say that's a beautiful for your second attempt at a painting like that. That's it's really, really nice.
It's a shame I haven't got the an image of the waterfall, which I did first, but that's currently on my website, which hasn't gone live yet, and I put it up for £1 million.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, it's sentimental to me, so if anyone wants it, they have to buy it off me for £1 million.
Absolutely, yeah. The first one, that's quite a tell. You know?
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, to carry on with the story, then so obviously lockdown happened, but not really so much in Bali. There wasn't really much of a lockdown. They closed the beaches, so we couldn't surf as much. But shortly after lockdown happened, it was just when it was really getting to me. I was sort of like, as you do when you're in a foreign country and there's a pandemic happening and you're worried about your family back home, you've got a high pressure sales job, it's not going so well. I started to become really reclusive, and then I got depressed, and I stopped surfing. I stopped really seeing my friends, stopped socializing. I just sat at home, had pizza on the weekends, and literally. But during this time, I painted every single day. It was because I knew I had to come home. This was around about sort of September time. I knew I had to come home, and I just painted every day to basically get me through it. And I didn't realize, how powerful like art was to help you. And so that was like my therapy for the whole time. It sped time up in a good way. Otherwise I would have been sat in my room just really sort of like counting down the time. And I was painting, and like literally 4 hours later, like I can't continue me. I was painting, and then and like really like what I thought was half an hour in my mind was 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then during this time, I had a lot of time to think. I took a sabbatical off work because I knew I couldn't pick the phone up anymore. They were very good. My work were amazing, and they really sort of like gave me that space and time to heal. I told them what was going on. I eventually opened up to them, and then I just used that time, and I had lots of time, and that's something we all have in lockdown, or this time we've had time, and it's so precious. So if you have got time right now, guys, like, use it to really like look inside yourself, think about what you want to do in the future, or if there's a message you want to send or something you want to try, go for it. What I did with my time was I sort of worked out or figured out that I want to help people through the message of art therapy and mental health. And I set up a Patreon account first. Well, the reason I set the Patreon up, I'll go into that a bit later, but first off, I started painting, obviously, and then I was posting everything to Instagram, on my story feed. Like, I thought, why not show my mates what I'm up to? And then people were like, Graham, this is amazing. Like, can you paint me a picture? And I was like, well, I would love to, but then imposter syndrome comes in. I said, I can't charge you for it, but how about you just give me some money towards materials, postage and packaging, would maybe put some towards charity. And then, I started painting for a couple of my friends, and it just took off. But my deal was that I paint the picture. I choose the paint because I didn't want it to feel like a commission. I didn't want people to tell me what to do. I'm not very good at that anyway. Sure. But then in that way, I said, I'm painting anyway. You are basically helping me through art school, if you think about it that way, and you get a lovely picture. Yeah. And so the surprise commission was born, and that's how I work now. And it's actually, well, a lot of artists that I've spoken to said that's a genius idea, Graham, because it keeps my creativity like strong, because I can then choose the painting for that person with meaning. And it's a lovely process because I look at into their life and I think, what would make them tick? What would they love? And then I would paint them a picture, and then it comes out on my stories, and they get to see it unfold before their eyes.
That's absolutely beautiful. It's like they get that kind of intimacy. Oh, 1111. Hello. Yes. So they get that kind of intimacy. They're able to kind of keep track, and like you keep them up to date. So it becomes personal to you both then as well. That's such a beautiful thing. And I really like what you're doing with the surprise as well, because it's almost like you're weaning yourself into this kind of new kind of way of doing things, with your art and stuff. And it's like, it's kind of like, it's allowing you to kind of do what you feel is okay for you right now, and like progress perhaps into things further on down the line. That's absolutely beautiful. I'd just like to say to anyone who's watching this live, if they have any questions, we'll do some questions at the end of this whole segment. And so if people just feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll be able to see them and respond to them. But yeah, that's absolutely lovely. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Okay, so I'd just like to lead on then with the next question, is because what I do is I do emotional. Well, I help people love their inner world so that it can align with their best version of reality, and a lot of that is just emotional healing and love energy cultivation. And it's interesting. What inspired me to really get us on this interview today was like what you were doing when you said you were depressed. And I feel that was a really big theme for 2020 in general.
It's a zeitgeist.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's like
positive change. Yeah,
absolutely. Positive change birthed through adversity. So like 2020, how I see it, was like literally we collectively agreed for 2020 and the whole lockdown thing to happen. Like it was we wanted this kind of scenario where we would all be in situations where we would slow right down and we'd be at home with those closest to us, and we'd be able to go inward more. And I think that's I went through the same thing. Like I had this, like a relationship thing happened just at the start of lockdown, and so I went through, you know, the dark night of the soul, same as you did as well. And what I love is I then found this whole love cultivation process, and that was beautiful. And it's really just melted all of this emotion that was like kind of, you know, when you're depressed and you can literally go for days just in this constant kind of throbbing lower emotion. Yeah. And it's like I went through that for a period as the majority of people did during lockdown, I would say. And through the love energy, I managed to melt that. And I'm intrigued. So my question is, so how did you feel when you were going through your darkest of moments during that time of lockdown? And was there any other kind of practices that you used to get you through that depression at the time other than art therapy? Or did you feel that like when you were painting that the emotion kind of bled through you?
Yeah, well, actually, I've got an answer for that for sure. It wasn't just painting as my creativity that I was doing at this time. Okay, obviously, as you know, I do vlogging now, and that's something that I've been passionate about for years, and I added that to it as well. So it was crazy. Like finding painting unlocked my left brain. I've always been a creative. I've been into music. I've always loved making videos. I've always loved being really creative on social media to bring people together to do events and stuff as well. And I've done a lot of video editing and that. And so I obviously, when people started to notice, another part of my day would be I would finish the painting and I'd run to my favorite cafe, find a little cozy sofa, and I would just go deep into a trance, making an edit of the whole process and for the person I was painting for. And then I've made, obviously, it's already an immersive experience for my followers who take on a commission with me. But then they get an experience where I get to document the whole thing and then send them and put a nice little video that they get to see for life. So that was another thing that I basically, like, just creativity was unlocked in my brain. And yeah, and I suppose it's just a similar answer, art therapy. And also reconnecting. One thing I found was important. I was reclusive. Now I found that to be very helpful. I needed that time by myself. And I know that, like, you know, some people, when people are depressed, they don't see anyone, and people can perceive it from the outside as a negative thing. But actually, you might need that time. And I actually really enjoyed the time with myself, and I learned a lot about myself during this time. And also, but what I found was very important was to have my lifelines and my angels around me that were there to look after me and for me to reach out, whether they knew that I was going through stuff or not, you know. And obviously that leads me on to my two friends, Michelle and Sean, who I painted angels for, because they didn't know I was going through anything. All they heard was me swearing, effing and blinding when I was putting the phone down on my job because the person didn't want to buy off me. But then they'd hear that, come up and ask me if I'm okay. And, you know, like, that is so important. And my sister was a massive rock through the whole time. I opened up to her, and she was constantly dropping things left, right, and center to speak to me and to hear me and listen to me and actively listen to me, which is very important. I think active listening is something that I've learned about a lot lately, that don't try and fix someone, but listen to them. I think that's very important. And I'm learning the whole mental health procedure for the whole time of doing this. And I've learned from so many different avenues, where even in my job in sales, and that listening is very important. And I want to get better at that. And I'm not a professional, but I want to be able to help people as much as I can through my experience, and then direct them to professional help. And this is Angels, by the way, guys. This is the painting that I made for my two friends, Sean and Michelle. Now, this is a very important painting for me because it came out of my soul. All of my paintings pretty much are through subject images, and I'm learning. Or painting like the whale, it's someone else's painting, but I copied it, to learn techniques. But this one was very important because with Sean and Michelle, there's a vlog about it as well called Angels Part 1 and Part 2, if you want to check that out as well. They would, take me out on trips, and I think they sensed that I was a little bit lonely and saw that I wasn't surfing as much anymore. But I lived with them. I moved in with them because I sort of moved away from the hustle and bustle of Canggu and went to Medewi. Sure. If you don't know these places, guys, you'll find out if you ever go to Bali. Sure. But yeah, so but then when I came back before I left, I moved away from Sean and Michelle, and that's when I sort of opened up to the world on my vlog, and that's what Angels. And that's when I painted this. I did like a heartfelt vlog where I told everyone how I was thinking and what I wanted to do to help people. And this painting, just to explain it, is a forest fire. Now that represents my path and my journey going through this. You can't really see it, but here is the sun breaking through the clouds, and it's sort of just coming out, the sun rays coming out, and I'm walking towards that sunlight. But I've got two little angels there. These two light orbs are angels, and that represents Sean and Michelle. And I gave it to them and told them, and I told them what I was going through, and I was very, very grateful. I was very grateful to have them. So I think it's very important that if you are going to be taking some time out for yourself, have those angels around you, whether it is a person or a dog or a cat, or it doesn't even have to be anything alive. Something that you can anchor to, and I don't know, but yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's absolutely lovely. Yeah, that's I've just got the image now of the two light orbs. It's like you've done one's blue and one's red. And,
yeah,
I can really feel that as well. Like it's what it means to you as well, and of course everyone will interpret it differently.
Well, that's interesting actually, because I actually showed this to a few people in Bali that didn't know I was going through. My friend Nova Zeph, she's the one that introduced me to Tatiana, the girl who gave me the lesson, and she's very very in tune and with emotions, and she knows what's going on. She's an incredible artist herself as well. The Pendulum People, if you check them out, she's a hip hop artist, spoken word, creative words, and it's amazing. Sure. She basically, I showed it to her. She didn't know what was going on, but she was like, "Oh, Graham, there seems like there's something up with you right now. Like I sense like sorrow and or something, something you're going through, a change." And she was bang on. I didn't tell her till a little bit later, but yeah, she got it so right, and it was really interesting to ask people's interpretation of it.
Of course, yeah, that's it. Yeah, brilliant, cool. Okay, right. So that's okay. So what it means to you. So I remember one thing that you also said about in the Be the Change collective meeting, where you said about your kind of mission now, like what you want to do, and you said about this kind of platform that you wanted to create where people could essentially get help for free. Yeah. So what was that, if you want to?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'll give you the whole concept, which is building it as well, and my legend angels, I call them, my Patreon members. Hopefully some of them are here this morning checking it out. I did a last minute thing to tell everyone about it. But when I obviously during this time I set up patreon.com. Okay, so patreon.com/Graham Cullis Art. Now this is a way for pledging to artists to help them create or put their message out. Obviously, I'm doing video blogging, takes a long time. It's hard to juggle that with a full-time job. And just to let everyone know, congratulations to me. I quit my full-time job last week, and I'm now a full-time self-funded by my Patreon, just about. I still need a little bit to go. That's what I'll talk to you about in a minute. But yeah, so I'm now a full-time mental health ambassador and artist. So the way I ask for help, so that I'll lead on to the Angels Forum, this is the main vision, is that I want to give back to my Patreon. So Patreon is a platform where you can pledge monthly to me. It doesn't have to be much. It could be a price of a coffee or a pint, just once a month. Every 6 months, I'll give you, so it's like once a month you get a print. Okay, every 6 months you'll get 6 gift cards. So these are my gift cards. Okay, so you got the whale, you got Thistle, and they're all my surprise commissions. They're all meaningful to people as well. This one's one of the favorites. Dog, Angels, Flamingo, and then Surfer Girl, or Lady Glass Off. So basically, the idea is I send these gift cards to you, and then you get to keep as many as you want. So it is a gift card. It comes with an envelope as well.
Sure.
And you can then write a personal message to someone that is struggling, someone that might be going through some tough times, or someone that you just love and you just want to send a bit of positivity to them. You might not know that they're going through something, and that letter, that impact will make such a change in their life, because people remember when you say shit things to you, but they also remember when you say do really good things. Okay, so it comes from one of my vlogs of Davina Morgan. She said about with racial slurs, she paints people to empower them through body image. She paints girls and men nude and she said one of her friends who's black had some racial slurs when she was younger, and she said it's something very powerful to me. It's a 2-second moment lasts a lifetime, and that really resonated with me, because this is exactly the same. You can say shit things to people and it will last a lifetime. You can send them a gift card out of the blue. It's so mindful, this process as well. You have to write it, you have to put it in the envelope, you have to lick it and stick it, you have to pay money to get the postage on it, you have to stand in line, the COVID 2 meters socially distanced line in the post office for half an hour to post it to them. And then when you get that through, I believe that when you get that through the post, it could change lives, it could save lives. So that's one part of my mission, is that and just so everyone knows, my first run of karma cards I sent out beginning of January to 60 people, around to 16 countries. So this is going global as well. And this message I want to spread out. It then directs back to my channel, where I can then show them the vlogs that I'm creating about mental health awareness. I interview charities and artists, and that's what the money goes towards, is helping me produce all of that. But also, as it grows and I am established and have a full-time job wage out of it, or before that, even that as well, any money, 10% directly goes to charity or whatever cause I want to bless someone with, a random act of kindness maybe, or to a charity that I resonate with at the time. Every 6 months I'll dish that out and bless someone. But as it grows, I will be investing more of the money as a business into other charitable events, festivals, projects, and setting up all kinds of initiatives. I really want this to grow. I want this to be a global collective. And my main mission is the Angels Forum. Now, this is something that's in my mind at the moment, which I'm manifesting to happen by the end of the year. And it's called the Angels Forum. So this is what you're asking. I'm getting a lot of people. My Instagram's blowing up now. I'm almost close to like 7,000 followers. I concentrate mainly on that platform. I will be, now I'm free from my job, I'll be able to do a lot more marketing on my YouTube and my Facebook, but obviously just building it, that takes a while. But I am getting messages from people that are struggling, people that are having a really tough time. And then some people that are saying they want to kill themselves. Yes. 13-year-old kids saying that to me as well, from India, from Africa, from all over different countries, from England. And so the thing is, a lot of countries don't have mental health facilities, but every country has a professional which can help people, and I'm not a professional. I want to link up, and I have been starting to get a collection of mental health professionals, and I want people all over the world to be moderating what I'm calling the Angels Forum. I'm going to set this up soon. It's going to be a link on my website where people can cry out for help on there in any language that they want. Okay, any language that they want. And then they will know that there is a countless number of angels. It's almost like they're putting a message into heaven. They're saying a prayer. Okay, and then these angels, these professionals that I've vetted and gone through all the safeguarding procedures to find out what their values are in mental health, and if it aligns with everyone on my team, I will use them as a moderator, where they can literally jump in and say, hey, and they can connect with each other as well. These moderators, they there's someone here speaking Hindi. Can you please get to them as quick as possible? And it's just, and then that way they can at least get someone to have an initial talk to, and be directed into appropriate channels that they may not have known about. So that is my vision for the future. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty more ideas coming out of my brain for this as well. So there we go. I need to open my Diet Coke now. I'm not sponsored.
Excellent. That is absolutely great. Wow. What a great vision. That's lovely. I really like the idea of it. It's like, I think that's a really big thing that's happening at the moment as well. I've seen like adverts on TV for similar things, and like it's like almost like people-powered group healing. That's really cool. Yeah, this is really good, and it's good. That's such a thing that's really going to be supported by God, by Source itself. Serving others in that way. And there will be, of course, it's good that you found a lot of mental health practitioners already, and that kind of base will continue to grow. And say as well, it's global as well, so it's not just, it's not limited in that way either. So that's really awesome. Excellent. So I suppose really my next question was, if you could do anything in the next 6 months and it was 100% guaranteed it would happen and money was no issue, what would that thing be?
100% the Angels Forum, for sure. I want that. I would love that to be a thing in 6 months' time, for sure. But it's going to cost a bit of money. I don't believe in asking people for giving their services for free. I believe that everyone's worth their weight in gold, and I really want to work with people and pay them to do the coding or whatever, but if they want to offer their services free, up to you. That's fine. But I want to invest into this. I want this to be proper, and I want it all to, So I'm just manifesting that my Patreon can grow to a certain amount where I can be freed up to have more time. Well, already I am, but I need to be freed up to be able to invest more time into that, organize people and manage it. I in 6 months' time, I would like to have my first employee, my first manager, as you will. And I've already got someone in mind who's been asking me. So if you could pledge to the Patreon, it's not only giving me a wage, it's going to give some other amazing people as well a wage as well, eventually, once we get to it. So
this is it. It's like the more you're supported, the more you're able to give, and then in turn, the more you'll be supported, then the more you're able to give. So it's like then you can help the world eventually, or you already are just by being. But the more just it's like a snowball effect. Excellent. Okay, so you also had this. Obviously, the thumbnail that was used for this live stream was your Balance magazine entry.
What do I have here right beside me? Amazing. I work with a charity. I think you put a screenshot up a second ago as a vlog. It's not the vlog, just so you know, if you do watch it, the audio quality wasn't as good as it has been for the interview, but I interviewed Tara Reddy from Arts and Prescription. Now she's an amazing lady who has works her ass off. She's obviously similar to me, actually. I think we don't sleep. And Tara, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry that I completely messed the time up to make that video for you, but I'm going to be doing that one for summer. Anyway, so she got me. She basically, I interviewed her. She has a embedded mental health as an alternative therapy to medicine, or to use alongside traditional approaches in the GP practices around Hastings and the local area, which is incredible. Okay, nice. Absolutely amazing. Okay, that is now an option for people in doctor surgeries, and now obviously with COVID, she has to do everything online, but there's still that option if people are going to the doctors and are depressed. Okay, so that's really incredible. So, and then we've been in touch, and then she messaged me, said, there's this lady, this journalist that wants to interview Cara, and she she's doing a piece for Balance magazine about people that have made a positive change in 2020. And yeah, so I did the interview. The story's slightly wrong though, guys, if you do listen to this. I mean, I think the communication was blurred. I wasn't depressed when I found art. I was heading towards that way, but I wasn't brought along to the class because it would help me. I think that was a bit skewed. My depression really kicked in after I found art. I went to the art class because I was trying to impress a chick. Right, okay, so Tatiana, legend. She's an amazing artist as well. But yeah, so here we go. They did a article on me and another lady that's doing some amazing stuff through lockdown. She's moved in with her family in a caravan and just changed her life around. But yeah, there we go. Here I am in print in a London magazine, which is distributed everywhere. My cousin, Laura, if she's watching, she got one sent through the post the other day. So now I feel like an absolute rock star.
Awesome.
I've made it, Mum, Dad, I've made it.
I'm in the big media now.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, nice.
And Balance is a wellness magazine, guys, just so you know. Balance magazine, it's incredible. There's incredible stories. And this issue is called The Hope Issue. And I think you have a link, don't you, for the online article to read it?
I do indeed. Yeah, this one here. So that's balance.media/change-for-the-better. Cool. Cool. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Okay. Yeah, so that's great. I was just going to say it's interesting as well. I remember when I was depressed, and it was just something that I feel as well, that I felt inspired to talk about here was with mental health. I see it as like the mainstream, how I see it is like the kind of mainstream kind of viewpoint of mental health itself is that it's all of our kind of depression and all of our emotions are somehow stored in the mind. Whereas I believe that it's more so that the mental body and the emotional body are two separate things. They're quite distinct. And one thing that I found that's been really profound, and I feel it's something that I would love to just kind of spread knowledge and awareness of myself, is the practice of cultivating love energy, and how much I was able to kind of melt this depression I was in just a few minutes of this particular practice using positive affirmations such as I love you and stuff like that. But that's something that, I'd love to talk to you about another time.
Okay.
But yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I was just going to ask as well, wait,
let me ask you, what is it in 6 months' time, if the money was no issue, what would you like to see happen, Zach?
I mean, okay. Well, I got to write those things down during the event the other day, and that was the first few things were like accommodation for every single person in the world.
Wow, yeah.
To end world hunger.
Sorry, Karen.
Yeah. So those two things, and water for everybody, clean water for everybody. So those are like the first three things. But then more selfishly would be like.
Nothing wrong with being selfish. That word's totally banned out. That word's been made negative, when actually being selfish is a very positive thing as well. Absolutely. In certain situations. So we need to go for it. What do you want?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like we need to be selfish first of all before we can then be selfless.
Yes.
Like we need to build ourselves up before we can
look after number one so you can help others.
Exactly. So yeah, for me it's very similar to you actually. Basically, I would like to, what I feel most excited about right now is perhaps building some kind of emotional healing community where people can start loving themselves on greater levels than ever before and start melting their emotions that they're holding on to more and faster than ever before. And I can feel that happening, and I can see that happening as well. And also just continuing to work on with my physical body as well as my mental body, and of course the emotional body, just continuing to bring the whole of myself up and continue working towards helping people in greater ways, starting like more vlogging and creating a content plan so I'm more consistent, and also get my emotional healing course finished, writing that and getting that written up and ready, and help people that way as well. So
yeah,
that's really my main
that's some
thing.
amazing selfish things to happen. I love it.
Thank you.
And your physical body, have you been doing any of the, have you been getting on the whole Wim Hof that's been quite popular during lockdown, like keeping yourself as cold as possible?
I kind of sort of have. I mean, really just going for walks and doing really mindful breathing and essentially just oxygenating the whole body, and just amazing how that's been. It's because obviously it needs oxygen to eliminate waste, to burn fat cells, to get our metabolism continuously going and firing, and just the oxygenation I found that
just stay alive.
Yeah, literally, and just to thrive as well. With the, when you've been for a long walk or a jog and you've got this oxygen flowing through you, you feel amazing. You're hyped up on the endorphins and all of that. Oxygen, that's where it's at. So yeah, totally focusing on that for sure at the moment. I have a question for you though. There was a couple of things we were going to talk about. I'll wrap this up soon as well. So Indonesia in general and Instagram tips. I was intrigued to see what you had to say about Instagram tips.
All right. Well, Instagram tips. This is something that I've noticed about this platform. There's a lot of people out there that just want the quick follows, the quick likes, and they don't care how they get there, and they don't put the work in. They just pay a service which ends up giving them a load of trash on their followers. Now, I think companies now, if they're looking for an ambassador, like this is what I find, that my social media needs to be very squeaky clean and very engaged. Now, I am 100% fast forward. I'm probably on the spectrum of ADHD because, which is a great thing, and I would love to learn about myself on the spectrum of that, because I feel like it's a superpower for people if they know how to do it. But I engage with everyone that messaged me. Okay, you get a lot of people that might have 20,000 followers and then they're out of reach, or a band page that have got loads of followers, they're out of reach. They don't want this air of mystery, which is total BS now. I think you don't need an air of mystery. You need to connect with your followers. It's your community. You need to be there. You need to be present for them. And so everyone that follows me, I will send them a copy and paste DM with some stuff that I want them to see and what I'm about, but I'll also follow it up with a personalized video. Okay, it takes a long time, but I'll just say, hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for following me. Please, can you just stick around and share my stuff? I've got this message. Let me know what you think of the vlogs. Start a conversation with them. It takes a long time. And I do use services to build my following, but not those ones that give you the bots where you look at the follows and you see there's literally 0 posts and 0 followers on their account. That's going to damage your demographics, and it's going to damage your engagement. So I use like some platforms like giveaways, which align with like art or travel, are giving away a product. But at the end of the day, those people don't give a F about you. They just want to win that product. But then they follow me because obviously I'm one of the accounts to be followed. Hello, anyone, if you've joined me and my new followers, thank you so much. But I will jump on as soon as I see the followers coming in. Boom, I take 2 days off, and there's me on my phone. I know people don't like screen time, but this is the way I want to get the message out. I want to engage my followers. So I'll be there, make sure I'm messaging every single one that comes through, because they really appreciate it. Some people don't. Some people are a bit weird about it, but if they've entered my space, then they're asking for it. But yeah, I'm very nice. If they don't like it, I'll say, okay, thank you very much. Carry on. I hope you win the competition, and I guess we will part ways at the end. But then obviously I want you guys to stay, so I will make sure I connect with everyone. Anyone that asks me a question about advice as well, I will help them out as well. A lot of people say, can you share this to my post? Of course I can't do that to thousands of people, but I'll give them the next best thing and tell them how I'm growing my account. And yeah, another thing, like, guys, self-development. You need to be listening to professionals in marketing if you want to grow your account. You can't just expect to put content out there and hope it goes viral. Sometimes it happens, okay? But like, I read books or listen to books. I'm an audio person, but I listen to sales books. I've just downloaded last night because I noticed I get a lot of adverts on my feed for different marketers and stuff. And Brendan Kane, That's a good one to remember. I don't know yet because I haven't read his book, but I listened to a couple of reviews because Brendan Kane's sponsored ad came up, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Looked at his feed, looked at all his followers. They're all legit. He hasn't got bots on there, and he tells you how to get 1 million followers in 30 days. But I know it's one of those hook lines. And actually, his second book's called The Hook Point. Okay, you got 3 seconds to make an impression. Okay, so that's why, literally, boom, get a video in their face. Here I am, love me. Okay, that's very important. I'm sure he's going to cover this in the book, but I haven't read the book yet. But it's on my to do. I'm going to be driving later, and I'm going to have a little listen. But yeah, people like that, just find people that are professionals that are doing it. Okay, but be very careful when you do listen to some people that say they can follow your account for this amount of money, because at the end of the day, if you clog up your feed with a load of people that aren't following you and not engaging with you, it then takes away from the people that the message you're trying to send them. Okay, so that's my number one tip, is don't go for the quick approach, because it's just going to fall to pieces. Because nowadays, brands and companies are getting wise to this now. If you've got 150,000 followers and you've got 2 people liking your posts, what's the point? You've got 150,000 people with their back to you. Okay, so there we go. Maybe I should write a book about marketing.
Yeah, you could. I mean, definitely, you know a lot about marketing and stuff.
Well, sorry if any marketeers are out there. I'm only joking. I'm not a professional at that at all. I'm learning from you guys. Thank you so much. And also, like, marketing is art. This is something I thought about actually just before I got onto you. And like, marketing is an art form in itself. You know, you need to be creative. You need to think outside the box. I am totally for that. Now, this is something I'm doing as well. I've started telling people this because it's not a secret, but I've got this project that I've been running alongside this with my personal Facebook page. Now, your personal Facebook page is your low-hanging fruit. It's the people that love you and want to support you because they know you. Okay, it's they're warm leads. Okay, so but they're also your friends and you love them, and every single one of them has a birthday. All right, so I put my little hat on every day, and I'm like, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Zach, happy birthday to you.
I love that.
Zach. I hope your day is full of love, hugs, happiness, and cake. Right? And do you know what? Like, I've reconnected with family members. I'm gonna take my hat off now. I've reconnected with so many like people that because I've done promotions before, and I've got people on my Facebook I don't even know. Okay, but I've reconnected with them now, and they love it. And that little powerful message, just like the karma cards, will make their day. And then they're open to your message then. And then I say, well, I hope you're well. Just check out what I'm doing. And then I've got commissions out of it. I've got Patreons out of it. And I've now made a lot more friends than I can handle. But it's all about connecting and being present in your community. Okay, so hopefully there were some people live there that heard me play ukulele. And that's one more thing. That's another thing that's unlocked. Music is something that is unlocked in my brain now. I used to be in a band years ago. We got fairly successful before the success happened, and then it all went to shit. But I've always been fond of playing music, and one of my 6-month selfish things is to be able to record my own music for the vlogs every now and then. And I want an EP recorded for my vlogs by the end of the year.
Oh, brilliant. Is that going to be like an overlay of music?
Well, you know, if you see my vlogs, I obviously have to use copyright-free music. I tend to use covers of tracks. So I'll go and find a really nice sort of sounding cover track of a popular song on my YouTube videos, because then it doesn't get flagged and taken down by the record label. And then, but yeah, and also I try to make contact with that person to ask their permission, but sometimes they just don't get back to you. They're like, wow, it's for mental health. They won't mind. Sorry. But yeah, and I would like to be able to do my own. I'd like to be able to collaborate with musicians. I've got a musician called Kim Churchill, who I'm really good friends with. I went on tour with for 2 years, basically promoting him and selling his merchandise and having a blast. That's another story completely, but literally 2 years. I met him in Mexico, and then he came to Newquay to play Ballmasters Festival. Long story short, the festival screwed up, and I saved the day by getting him an amazing spot in the middle of the street to busk, and a gig that night, and sold £500 worth of his merch. He then took me around the world for 2 years and said, "Do you want to come to Canada tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, right." Jump on a plane, go to Canada, and they go, "Oh, do you want to stay here and snowboard for 2 weeks? Come home, have Christmas. Do you want to come to Australia in January?" I'm like, "Yeah, all right." And, so I just kept following him, and it was amazing. And like, we are really, really good friends now, and he's super keen to do a collaboration with me now. And now I'm in his artist club. It's great.
Yes.
Yeah, and he wants to start a podcast, so that would be awesome. So we can inspire each other that way. And whew, I can talk, can't I?
Oh, great. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. I like, you're good to listen to. So there we go. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. No, I love the sound of that. Okay, so we've that's really good as well. That's really good for everything you're doing. I suppose we haven't got any questions as of yet. So good morning, Francesco.
Yeah, good morning, Francesco.
Yeah, hi, Lisa. Nicola. Yeah, hi, Nicola. Yep. Emotional.
Sorry, I'm squinting. I need to put my glasses on to read.
Yep. Emotional. I can't remember. It's cryotherapy. Nicola does cryotherapy.
So, yes.
Yeah, it's really, really
amazing.
Really, really good stuff with Nicola and I and Robert as well, a friend. We're collaborating on something. But yeah, so one last thing I'd like to talk about is Indonesia. So Indonesia is a place I know that you were there last year. Are you looking to go back there?
With Indonesia, I'm always going back to Indonesia. I've been going there on and off for the last 12 years. So whenever I leave, I'm always going back. Okay?
Right.
It's like, it's always see you later. It's not goodbye with Indonesia. Indonesia's a very fond time for me. I've got lots of friends there. Been going there for 12 years on and off and living with different families and making amazing friends. And but yeah, I wanted, one of my goals the last couple of years was to become remote so I could live there. Because how can I stay here? But now I can go back as an artist and a vlogger, a travel vlogger, which is my dream, and help people at the same time. And Indonesia is amazing. Bali is amazing for creativity. There's a lot of people there, sort of at all ages, just doing their thing, and it's inspiring. There's so many great movements going on. I mean, there is some negative stuff that comes along with that as well. You get a lot of people that are sort of taking advantage of like the local economy, which I find a bit painful sometimes and a bit awkward to see, because you need to have respect as well, I think, and put back in. But yeah, I love it, and surfing. But I think, yeah, I'm always going back there. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but my next. Sorry, Karen.
That's the thing, isn't it? I've on Skyscanner, I've signed up for Indonesia travel updates. So I got one the other day, and they've actually put further restrictions in place. So like it's even harder to get in now. So however long that'll last for. But yeah, I've never been to Indonesia myself before, but it's somewhere. It's either at the moment this year, it's either going to be Indonesia or the Caribbean. One of those two that I want to go to for a period.
Well, yeah, I've got Costa Rica back on the cards, so I'll be looking to move there hopefully in the summer sometime, just for a couple of months. I've got a little apartment in Pavones, which is the second longest left-hand point break wave in the world. And you guys, if you're following the vlog, it's just going to get better and better with my adventures, because my vlog is a travel vlog, mental health, art therapy. It's got so many good elements to it, and there's so much great content I can put out there. Excuse me. I'm moving to Newquay soon. Back there, that's where my heart is. I love Cornwall, and there's some beautiful places there, and I can't wait to document. I can't wait to show the world my wonderful life there and my friends, and there's some amazing characters. But yeah, it's gonna be good.
Love it. Awesome. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, Cornwall, beautiful place. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Okay. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about while we're now here towards the
I
end
just want to say thank you very much, Zach, for supporting me on my Patreon and becoming one of the team members. I'm in debt to you and everyone else. I want to say thank you to every single one of my patrons. I'm up to 89 now, and if one more person joins today, I get to 90. I mean, my goal is 150. To be able to be comfortable enough to pay my rent. Because I'll be moving out of my parents soon. It's going to get a bit more pricey. But yeah, if you can spare a couple of quid once, or like £5 or £2, £3, it doesn't matter how much as well, guys. This is something like I know not everyone can afford a certain amount because obviously it's different circumstances, but whatever you afford is as generous as someone who is paying a lot to me. I mean, I do have some people paying a very large amount because they can afford it, and I will respect equally if someone could only give me a quid, because it's about the message. That probably doesn't cover just about, or over 6 months, it just about covers the cost of the cards if you're in the UK.
Sure.
But that's the point. Like, it's not about that. It's like, even if you can't afford just to get the cards, like a small amount once a month, you will be doing so much for the world and this project, because there's a message that's going to be sent out. It's going to change people's lives. It's going to save people's lives. It's going to bring people back to my channel, which I can then help further. So if you want to get on the team, please do. I've also got a private group, Patreon's member group on Facebook, where I am adding a limited amount. I've got a few spaces left for people that are going to be, basically I see everyone as a team, and I want you all to, I want to be able to update you. If you don't have Facebook, I'll get you by email as well and give you updates. But I want to basically have a little group, which I have, of amazing people. Thank you so much if you're here online now. You're legends. I want to invite you into that group as well, so I can also get feedback from you, hear from ideas. You can collaborate. I'm mentoring all the charities and the artists, so there'll be some nice VIPs in there to collaborate and connect with and network with. But yeah, that's the Karma #Karma Card Project. Okay, patreon.com/Graham Cullis Art. Make a pledge today, please, and I will send you your gift cards. Next one will be in around about May, June time.
Excellent stuff, brilliant. Oh yeah, and hi Alicia. Yeah, Costa Rica. So it looks like all three of us here may have Costa Rica on the card.
Oh, Alicia, make friends with me on Facebook, please. I've got some really incredible contacts in Costa Rica that are doing stuff. I don't know what you're going to be doing there, but I've got an amazing friend called Josie who's got this amazing resort, an eco resort that I'm going to be working with, doing some community projects. It's called the Soul Center. You can check it out, and they've got a Facebook page as well, the Soul Center, spelled the American way, I believe. But yeah, I'm going to be working alongside them. So yeah, Alicia, hit me up on Facebook. Join the Karma Card Project as well, please. You don't have to, no pressure, sorry. But yeah, I'd love to meet you and chat with anyone that's wants to collaborate with me. Okay, so of course, yes, legend. Thank you so much, Alicia. The links all over the place. You'll find it on Instagram as well. All right, okay. Yeah, well, that's basically all I wanted to really talk about, I think. Unless you've got any more, I'm loving this. If you've got any more questions, anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Oh yeah. Anyone on the chat have any questions on YouTube or Facebook? Yeah, but I personally, I just think your Instagram, I absolutely love it. I think you've really, and as you were saying about how you're working with social media, like as far as I'm aware, like you're completely on the mark in terms of what you're doing, like, and it's working for you as well. You're consistent with it, and that's the main thing. So yeah, brilliant work you're doing. I absolutely love it, and I wish you every bit of support from Spirit.
Thank you so much.
Everything that you put your attention onto
means the world.
Brilliant. Absolutely. Okay. Well, we're almost at the hour, so just like to say a massive thank you to you, Graham, and for everyone else for tuning in today. And
thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Again, if you can catch Graham on either his Instagram, which is @Graham Cullis, or on his Patreon, and you can go ahead and become a patron at patreon.com/Graham Cullis Art. So thank you again, everybody, and thank you, Graham, and infinite love to everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Legend. Thanks, mate. Peace out.
Peace out. Much love. Bye.
I don't know how to end this.